Hello, everyone, and welcome back to April's Cozy Corner. Grab your tea, your coffee, and your blanket, and let's get cozy together. Tonight, I want to talk about something that so many sensitive people quietly struggle with: why empaths need so much alone time. And it's not because we hate people, not because we're antisocial, not because we think we're better than anyone else, but because feeling everything all the time is exhausting. There's a certain kind of tiredness that sleep doesn't fix, a tiredness that comes from constantly absorbing energy, from listening deeply, from overthinking conversations, from noticing tone changes, from carrying emotions that were never yours to begin with. Empaths often walk through life like emotional sponges. Some people can spend all day in noise, crowds, drama, group chats, gossip, chaos, and conflict, and still feel energized afterwards. But an empath can spend 20 minutes around heavy energy and feel drained for the entire day. Many empaths often feel guilty about that because the world praises extroversion. The world praises being constantly available, constantly social, constantly reachable. But empaths are different. Alone time is not a luxury for them. It's maintenance, it's emotional survival. A lot of empaths grew up being told they were too sensitive, too emotional, too quiet, too observant, too deep. But what people don't realize is sensitive people notice everything. The energy in the room changes before words are even spoken. A fake smile feels loud. Tension feels loud. Disappointment feels loud. Anger feels loud. Even silence can feel loud. And after a while, your nervous system starts begging for peace. That's why empaths often crave calm environments like soft music, rain sounds, and night drives. Not because those things are boring, but because they finally give the mind somewhere safe to rest. I think one of the hardest things about being an empath is that people often confuse your need for solitude with rejection. Sometimes you pull away not because you stop caring, but because you care too much for too long without recharging. And there's a difference. Empaths often become emotional caretakers without realizing it. You become the listener, the comforter, the fixer, the strong one. People vent to you because your energy feels safe. People dump their emotions onto you because your spirit feels understanding. But eventually, you realize nobody is asking how you are doing. Nobody notices that while everyone else is unloading, you're quietly drowning. And that realization changes you. There comes a point where an empath starts protecting their energy differently. You stop answering every call. You stop over explaining yourself. You stop forcing conversations. You stop trying to rescue everyone. And sometimes people become uncomfortable with the new version of you because boundaries confuse people who benefited from your lack of them. That sentence alone changed my life when I first understood it. Because empaths are often taught that love means self sacrifice. But love without boundaries becomes emotionally exhausting. You cannot constantly pour into people while ignoring the cracks forming within yourself. At some point, your soul starts asking for rest. There's also something deeply spiritual about solitude. When the world gets quiet, you finally hear yourself again. Your own thoughts, your own desires, your own emotions. not everyone else's. And many empaths don't realize how disconnected they are from themselves until they spend time alone. Because when you're constantly surrounded by people, it becomes harder to tell where their emotions end and yours begin. That's why many empaths suddenly feel emotional after finally getting alone time. You finally have space to process. Sometimes you cry. Sometimes you reflect. Sometimes you realize you've been overwhelmed for months. And sometimes you realize you've abandoned yourself trying to keep everyone else comfortable. I also think empaths experience the world differently because they notice emotional details other people overlook. You notice when someone says, "I'm okay," too quickly. You notice discomfort in body language, distance in texting, sadness hidden behind humor. And carrying all those observations every day can become mentally heavy because empaths don't just hear words, they feel undercurrents. And undercurrents are exhausting. That's why many empaths need recovery time after socializing, even after good experiences. And I think that confuses people sometimes because people assume exhaustion only comes from negativity. But emotional stimulation of any kind can overwhelm sensitive nervous systems. Even laughter, even excitement, even parties, and even family gatherings. Sometimes an empath leaves a room smiling, then spends the next 6 hours alone trying to emotionally decompress. And there's nothing wrong with that. The older I get, the more I realize peace is priceless. Not silence to avoid life, but silence to reconnect with it. The world constantly pulls at our attention now. Notifications, social media, news, and endless opinions. And empaths especially feel overstimulated by modern life because empaths absorb not only personal energy, but collective energy too. I think many empaths eventually learn this powerful truth. You cannot heal in environments that constantly overstimulate you. And sometimes healing looks less like becoming louder and becoming more softer, more intentional, more peaceful, more selective with energy. Some people think growth means always being outside, always networking, always socializing, always being visible. But for empaths, growth sometimes looks like turning off the phone, taking the long route home, or sitting quietly at night. And there's something beautiful about finally becoming a safe place for yourself. There's a quote I once heard that said, "Protect your peace like it's your most valuable possession." And I believe empaths eventually understand that deeply because peace is not easy to maintain when you feel everything intensely. You start becoming careful about what enters your mind, your heart, and your home. You realize your energy matters and everything affects you. And once you understand that, you stop apologizing for needing space. And maybe if you're watching this and you've been feeling guilty for needing a long time, this is your reminder that rest is not selfish, silence is not selfish, boundaries are not selfish, and protecting your energy is not selfish. And maybe your need for solitude was never something broken about you. Maybe it's simply the way your spirit survives in a loud world. Thank you for spending this time with me in April's Cozy Corner.